Well, we have questions and we have news, and it's so timely that we're tackling this subject. And not that there's ever not a good time to be understanding the weapons of our warfare, Jerry. You introduced me to a new term, suicidal ideation. The idea of taking your own life seems to have become epidemic.
It has, and we know that for some females, it's because of sexual experience prematurely. Unfortunately, we're living in an age where kids don't know the scientific laws of reproduction. They don't know God's plan to wait until marriage. And that's the very reason that we're producing right now a documentary on the sexualization of youth. So we literally shot this all over the United States. And Moira, you know that several girls have sexted, a new term, probably not in Webster's. They take a picture of themselves naked, they send it to their boyfriend outs them. And
Goes
then
everywhere.
They get stalked on Facebook, and several girls have committed suicide. One in our documentary had a friend who did it, took her life. She said, I'm not gonna take my life, I'm gonna come out and warn girls, everything you put on the internet stays there. This is a documentary coming from Crossroads that I'm telling you is going to capture people all over North America.
You know, Jerry, I had an email from someone pleading that we would use this platform to talk to young people about the unexpected, first of all, the pressure to be sexual, to be included, to win favor, but then the unexpected spiritual fallout, whether you're on the internet or not, the shame.
Right.
The shame that takes you down, and too often to a point of not wanting to live in your life anymore.
In the book, we've talked about Satan's techniques, how he tries to work. We're also working on a second documentary on teenage suicide. Now, we shot for a week with moms who all had the common denominator, their son or daughter killed themselves. And then Don Simmons went to First Nations. And when I see this report, as fresh as this morning, the CBC News is telling us about one of the First Nations communities.
Neskantaga.
Yeah, and can you imagine 2 suicides in 1 week?
They declared a state of emergency.
And so there is a common denominator between First Nations here in Canada, American Indian in the U.S., catastrophically high, economic hardship, difficulty. Some of these communities, you can only fly to them.
Right.
So again, that documentary, with the help of our friends here at Crossroads, our viewing audience, we'll be able to take it throughout all of Canada and the United States. Last Saturday, I shared with Mark Burnett what we were doing. He said, that's something that needs to be done.
You know, someone said to me this morning, as we sit here, there is a manhunt in Boston for the second individual they know is responsible for the bombings following Marathon. And someone said to me, who would even have an idea to do something like that? Well, I don't think we're overgeneralizing when we say they come from the pit. We know where they come from.
Whenever any psychiatrist has ever said to me, there is no devil, I say, you haven't been to death row with me. Yeah, I've been to death row many, many times all over the world. And you cannot abdicate evil from our society and deny the person of Satan. John 8:44, he's a liar, he's a murderer, and he's intending to take down anyone he can. But through Christ, as we have learned, we got all the victory we need.
You know, it's wonderful when I think of it now. John 10:10, the verse we know and love so well. Jesus said, I came so they might have life and have it to the full, more abundantly. It's the same verse that highlights the enemy who comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. But we have an alternative.
That's right.
And we can embrace it. We can make personal what God has made possible when we know the weapons of our warfare. Jerry, Christians and demons, thank you.
By the way, I got to tell you this.
Oh, let's show and tell.
We wondered who brought this to us.
Did he own up or she?
This was the mother of our chairman and CEO, Don Simmons, and she dropped it by nameless, so we want to say thank you. And again, say to all the grandparents, she gave it to her grandkids for Easter. What a great tool. And this is something, again, that we can give on behalf of our grandkids.